Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Fayee FY530. Now this is a really cool looking micro quad. I may go as far as to say that this is one of my favorite looking micro quads yet. I just really like the design. I like the prop guards and landing feet. They just kind of look cool and, I don't know, spider-like or something. I don't know, they just have a really neat look. And I just really like the body design. It feels like, good plastic. It doesn't seem too chintzy or anything. It has internal LEDs that shine through the body, so it's just, really nice and lit up. And if you remember my review of the Fayee 550, it's basically a little mini version of that. So pretty cool. It's got a mini-me now. So if you own the 550, you probably want to get the 530 to go along with it just because they look so similar. So I thought that was pretty cool to see a little baby version of it. One kind of odd thing is that they ship a little tiny nano transmitter with it, which I think is the first micro quad to have a transmitter this small. But honestly, I'm not hating on it. I don't mind the transmitter too much. It works pretty well. And together, it's a nice little package to carry along with you. You don't have a, big clunky transmitter. So I actually don't really mind the transmitter too much. My main problem was the thumb pads, they kind of have a sharp edge to them. So after a while, it kind of started to hurt pinching on them. But I found that you can pull the thumb pads off, and then the CG023, the little Alias clone, comes with optional sticks, and they just happen to fit in here. So then I can push sticks on there. So now I can use sticks. And that made it even better. So I wish they would have come with their own optional sticks. That's something that I've seen more and more quads doing lately, and I'm a huge fan of that. But at least, I happen to own one that I can put sticks on here and use now, so that makes it even better to fly with this small transmitter. Let's see. So it comes with a spare set of props, a screwdriver, and a USB charging cable. The battery is a 300 milliamp hour LiPo. That takes about 50 minutes to charge. You get about, 6 minutes and 50-second flights with the prop guards on, or about 7 minutes and 45 seconds with them off. So quite a difference in flight time. They are pretty substantial prop guards, so they take quite a bit off of flight. But they do work well, and they come up above the prop, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. There is a 10-second LVC warning, so you get a little bit of a warning when it's about to land, but not a huge warning. You can recalibrate it by holding the left stick down left and the right stick down right, so both sticks to the outside corners, and that'll recalibrate the accelerometer. It's got 3 rates, which you change with the left bumper, and the yaw rate does change with the rates, and it's a really fast yaw rate. So on high rates, this thing really spins, and you can get some pretty good funnels going with it. It flips with the right bumper. You press that and then move your right stick to whichever direction you want to flip. The prop guards do come off pretty easily. They just slide on to the bottom of the motor mount there, so you can just slide them on and off. So nice and easy. You don't have to take the props off or anything. We'll go ahead and slide them off so you can see what it looks like without them on there. However, I found it really funny that when I fly with the prop guards off, the whole quad shakes. I don't even understand why. The accelerometer just gets all confused. Come off there, last one. Man, this last one just is giving me a problem here. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. So here's what it looks like without the prop guards on. But when I fly like this, it just it gets this really fast, it makes this weird sound, and it shakes really fast, like this convulsion almost. But then, after a minute or two of flight, it all of a sudden fixes itself and it's fine. So something really weird going on there with the gyro or accelerometer, but it is flyable. It just kind of has this weird, really fast shake the whole time until it, magically fixes itself. But with the prop guards on, it flies just fine. So definitely has, it seems to be tuned to use the prop guards. Isn't really intended to be flown in this form, I think. But it flies great with the prop guards on. It flips nice with them. It just is a little bit, it's kind of different in flight characteristics than other micros. It has kind of a slow accelerometer, so it's kind of drifty and sort of slowly rights itself instead of like really snapping back into place like a lot of them do. It very kind of slowly and lazily rights itself. So it kind of feels like a bigger quad in flight where it's, a little bit more, it carries kind of more momentum before it changes directions and stuff like that. Your stick inputs aren't exact, like boom, boom, boom. It doesn't quickly make the moves you do. It kind of has a slow, drifty, kind of lazy feel to it. So you kind of got to get a feel for that when you're flying it. You can't try to fly it too quick. You've got to kind of have, some forethought into what when you're gonna move. You kind of got to give it a little bit of time to make its decision to finally respond and whatnot. So you can't fly it quite as aggressively. It's a little bit more calculated flight. You got to kind of account for that slowness in it. Let's see. And the yaw rate, especially on the high one, the yaw is a little bit touchy. So it's not quite like some nanos where like all of a sudden you hit a point and it's just full out spin. But there is a little bit. It's kind of hard to give just a little bit of yaw. Sometimes you kind of over yaw because it's just so fast. But yeah, I think that's all I got to say about it. So let's go take it for a flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Fayee FY530. I've got the CG023 sticks installed on the transmitter. And I'm going to start out without the prop guards on to see if we can get it to do the shakes. And then after that I'll put the prop guards on and we'll give it a real flight and turn off the lights and check out the LEDs. So there's low rates. So let's see if... Yeah. Oh gosh. It was all crazy and out of control. Let's go to medium rates. Look at the shakes. It's so weird. It's like it's nervous. It's afraid to fly for me, but I mean that's not me. That is it doing that. So weird. I don't get it at all. But it'll eventually stop doing that after you fly like this for a minute, so I don't know if mine's just defective or if they just never flew it without the prop guards on and didn't notice that it did that or what, but we'll go ahead and put the prop guards on now, which is super easy. You just slide them on from the bottom. You don't have to take off the props or anything. And it flies great with the prop guards on, or well, it doesn't really fly great, period, but it flies just as well with the prop guards as it does with them off. But I don't hate the way it flies. It's not bad once you get a feel for it. It's just it's a little slow. But yeah, you'll see, no longer shakes with the prop guards on. So here I'll go left stick, right stick, and so it's just a little slow to level out. It just kind of keeps its momentum, so it kind of feels big in the air because of that. It's just not real snappy like a lot of them are nowadays. Let's look at the yaw rate and get it out in the center. So there's our high yaw rate. So pretty fast yaw rate on high rates. Get a pirouette going there. Does really nice pirouettes. Alright, let's go back to medium rates and let's do some flips. So nice flips even with the prop guards on. So it's just a little different to fly than other micros, just because it's kind of slow and lazy in the you know, the way it levels itself. I wish the low rates was a little bit faster. It's a little, there's a kind of in between low and medium rates that kind of goes from being too slow to a little too fast. And the yaw rate can get a little touchy. So I mean, I don't think it's a bad flyer per se. It's just different than other quads, so you kind of have to get used to it. The prop guards do work against the ceiling, and they're pretty good prop guards. Let's do a bump test. Whoop. They can push into the props if you hit too hard, so that's what happened there. They kind of bounced back into the props, spun it all crazy, but it worked. Let's take it in for a landing and turn off the lights and check out the LEDs. I really like the internal LEDs on this. I think they just look really cool. Back on low rates. So just a really nice, you know, completely half lit up red and blue. So it just looks really nice in the dark, really easy to see. I would say this is a night flyer. Let's do some night flipping. I just think it's just a really good looking quad. I do wish it flew a little bit nicer, but I don't hate the way it flies. It just makes it a little bit hard to fly. You kind of have to think ahead and sort of plan for the slowness of response, but it's doable. I think if you've got its big brother, the 550, you pretty much have to get this mini-me version. It just looks so cool, like with the next to the bigger one. Just a really nice design. So you can see it definitely, it can fly nice. You just have to do a little more work for it. It doesn't, you know, the accelerometer is a little bit lazy. I wonder if they maybe did that on purpose. You know, maybe they want it to kind of feel like it flies maybe a little bit more like the big one. Because you know, those big quads tend to have a little more driftiness to them. They don't snap back to level super fast. And that's kind of how this one feels. It feels like it flies like a big quad. Alright, well I think I've showed all there is to show, so take it in for a landing. Not bad. Alright, well there we go. That's the Fayee FY530. I just think it looks super cool. Just absolutely love the look of this thing. Just really neat. And then if you put those stick extensions from the CG023, if you're a pincher, those make a big difference, make it much more flyable with that little transmitter. So anyway, check the video description for price and purchase link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.